Today I wanted to discuss harmonics. For some people, this is sort of second nature if you've been doing this a while. But if you haven't, it might be a mysterious phenomenon. They're really overtones, okay? And to simplify things today for this lesson, I'm just going to say we're going to be working on the 12th fret, the 5th fret, and the 7th fret. And you'll see in a minute why that works. Now, later on, I'm going to give some examples of doing artificial harmonics, but that's a whole other thing, and I prefer to do that mostly on electric guitar because I got a little sustain going. But stick around for that. And by the way, before we get started, hit me up on jimmydillon.com/free if you want to come and visit and pick up on some cool stuff and see if you like it. Anyway, love to hear your comments. So back to the lesson. I'm strumming a G chord, a C chord, back to a G, and then a D, and I'm doing sort of like a folk kind of simple picking to a C, so that was a G to a C, and then back to a G, and then we're dropping down to the 5 chord, a D chord, and I just repeat that over and over. G, and you'll see why in a minute. Then come to the C, then back to a G, and then D, Okay, now what I'm going to show you is the harmonics that go along with that, and there's many ways you can do this. But for the sake of simplicity, we're going to start out with just a simple. And you may be asking yourself, you might be asking, how does he get that tone? How does he get that sound? The way it works is you go up to the 12th fret and actually play over this fret here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you're on the 12th fret, okay? And you're resting your finger very softly on the string. Now, if it sounds like this, if it sounds, or not quite, I'm so used to doing it. It means you're not over the fret, or you're hitting it too hard. Maybe you got to soften it up. So you can be able to tell when the pressure's right. If it's not right, it sounds like more like muted. It means you're hitting too hard, you're pressing too hard. If it's like this, or you're just maybe a little soft, but you'll tell when you get it just right. Now you'll notice I'm going slightly through. I have a real low volume on my amp with a little tremolo. It just kind of adds a little magic to it, a little verb, but I couldn't live without it personally, but you can definitely do it with or without. So the first move is hitting that 12th fret, coming down on the D, the G, and the B. Now if you want, you can hit all these, depending on what chords you're hitting, and I'll explain that in a second. So, but for the purposes of this, let's just go with the G chord. So that's a D, a G, and a B, okay? Same note, it's just an octave up, right? So you know that's gonna go with the G chord, okay? And then for the C chord, you got a C, an E, and a G, but it's different when you hit the harmonic. It sounds a little bit different. I'm doing the same 3 strings, so it's same notes but an octave up, right? But it works against this. Yeah. So the same strings, even though it's the same notes, it works against the C. It's like a harmony, but it works against it. And it's what we have to work with harmonics. Then back to the G, the same 3 strings again. And now we're going to go to a D chord, and we'll hit the 7th fret. Again, the same 3 strings for now. Later I'll explore how to go to different strings for different sounds. So again, it's just the G chord, which is again these, and then same 3 notes, but on a different position. It's an octave up when you hit the 5th fret. I know that doesn't maybe make perfect sense, but it works. Back to the G, and then to the 7th, which is a D chord, and back to the G. So to demystify it, here's what it sounds like with the loop. 12th fret. Now you go to the 7th fret. Same order, same strings. Back to the G. Okay, I'm just doing a real simple. 5th fret. Now I'm going to move around a little bit. Play with it. Almost sounds like a harp. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of a starter place to start with harmonics. You know, I've used them in many different, situations, and sometimes it just spices up the playing a little bit. Sometimes I'll be playing actually within the context of a song, like a, you probably, or I'll be going to a C chord, back to G. Okay, so without getting too fancy with it, just know that you can use that 12th fret, and the D, G, and the B string is always going to work if you're in the key of G. Somebody's hitting the G chord, that's going to work. And if somebody's hitting the C chord, you can go to that 5th. Same 3 notes, octave up, but with the overtones involved, it has a different sound, a Chinese sound. And it goes fine against it. There's something about the pedal of the G chord that works over a C chord as well. It kind of stretches out, pulls at it. And then of course when you get to the 5 chord, which is our D, you're going to do that 7th fret that I just showed you. And then back to, okay, I'm going to play you out on that. And again, come and visit me, jimmydillon.com/free. Hit me up, leave a comment, and here we go. I'm going to play it out. I'll see you down the road, and stay tuned for some more acoustic blues and all kinds of fun stuff, and we'll see you there.